And spawning in the top right hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself representing Team Falcons. It is a Solar. Here we go. Oh, and welcome back to the Old Republic. Once again, this is a very large map, longer rushes than Spy Ground, but once again does have a much more vulnerable and exposed 4th expansion. That is why we expect to see some 3-base play, some 3-base shenanigans out of Solar. We saw it against Creator, but if you remember, the reason why Creator did start things off with a very strong start in Game 1 was because of the early damage. Adept harass, Oracle harass, Creator, he popped off, he pulled Solar apart, and Solar, he stumbled his way into a 3-base Solar in, which was very lackluster. We'll see if Solar can have a stronger defense. We'll see if herO does open up in a similar fashion or does go for something completely different. Again, herO, he is a little bit more diverse in his play. He is willing to be a little more quirky, a little more experimental at times as well. Show us what you got. That one Kamikaze Zergling won the game. True, true. That one Ling that got into the main base, that scouted the Twilight Council, was a big moment for Solar. He was able to do so both in Game 2 and Game 3. In both games, Lings got in. Zerglings did get in. Not gonna lie, every time I intro the Old Republic, I want to play KOTOR again. Like I would. Like it's being remade, right? Am I crazy? Is there a remake coming? Am I crazy? Or is that just a rumor? Oh, there was a teaser a couple of years ago, but we haven't heard anything since. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. So there was a teaser about it, but ever since then, radio silence. Smurge, man, smurge. I mean, I feel like the games, they still kind of hold up, right? It's like, tempted to replay them. Ah. For now, though, it's going to be... Oh, okay, herO, you have my attention. It is going to be a Stargate opener, but not opening up Oracle, going to be opening up Phoenix instead. Okay. Now, with this, the goal is to, what? Hunt down the Overlords. Hunt down the Overlords, deny vision, deny scouting, and keep a Solar in the dark. Not just that, but opening up Phoenix into Oracle does allow you to lift Queens and to potentially overwhelm mineral lines. It gives you a little bit more access, a little bit more potential, harassment potential. But we're opening up double Phoenix? Wait, what? Second Phoenix on the way. Going into one Phoenix is one thing, but he's not stopping Phoenix production. The Overlord will confirm that that's the second Phoenix. Remember, he just saw the first one with the Ling, so he knows. He knows that he's aware of the multiple Phoenixes, and he confirms there's a third Phoenix in production as well. Ay, ay, ay. It's like, the herO, this is not a TVP. This is what's going on? Triple Phoenix opener. Interesting. Now with this, we're hunting down Overlords, true. Already getting one, going for a second. Overlord will barely go down. Nice snipe. As herO does stop at 3. The interception! Oh my god. The Oracle barely gets away. Sorry, Phoenix barely gets away. We do have an Oracle follow-up. Going to the Oracle and still hunting for more damage. But I'll be honest, this triple Phoenix opener didn't really achieve more than what a single Phoenix would have done itself. Hasn't done more damage. Instead, we have the Forge, we have the Robo follow-up. Going into a delayed Twilight Council. Interesting. As the Phoenix cells go down, Oracle into the natural. Again, it feels like here is experimenting a little bit, but I'm not convinced. Oh, as the link count is not quite in position, but here it doesn't commit. Doesn't commit the shade, he pulls away. Tech is finishing up, and are we going for a delayed Archon drop? But it's heavily delayed because of the Phoenixes. And Solar, he's just all in. He's going for a Bane Bust. Like Solar, he stopped droning, by the way. He's not taking gases, cutting workers at 50. We have Mass Ling on the way. We have Mass Banelings on the way as well. And Solar, he's here to just end the game. And it makes sense. I mean, like, there's so much tech here. We have a Forge, Robotics Bay, Robo, Twilight Council, +1. The army is non-existent. This is the army. We have, what, 6 adepts? Ah, no. And we bust in. We break on through. We have sentries on the way. Banelings, they crash in. They don't quite kill the sentries. Jesus. Now robust. But here comes a full surround. Here comes a full surround. This is the army. Adepts are falling. Baneling gets into the mineral line, and there's just nothing. There's just nothing here. There's one Oracle. Because of the opener, there's only one Oracle. It's going to run out of energy. And I feel like this build is it's a little bit raw. Like, it's need some more time to cook, papi. Aye. So winding it back, and why this is just really smart, it's just a really smart reaction out of Solar. Winding it back, because this was a triple Phoenix opener into an Oracle, because what does that mean? That means there are less Oracles than normal. Because there are less Oracles than normal, that means that this Ling Flood does even more damage. How do you deal with this? Typically with a second and with a third Oracle. The Oracles, they completely shut this down, and that is why typically Ling aggression this early on is unsuccessful in ZVP. But with a lower Oracle count, because of the higher Phoenix counts, I mean, here is that much more vulnerable. Is that much more vulnerable? With that, he lost 15 probes. He lost the entire mineral line. Lings are moving back in. And again, this is just a really smart punish for Hero's build. And Hero's still being so, and then I mean the follow-up is even worse just because he's so greedy. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Things they move in. Oracles they're moving out across the map, which means these Lings they can still wreak havoc. The Colossus is on the way, but again, here he's stumbling his way into the mid-game. Stumbling his way in. Oracles, they get into the third. They get 3 drone kills. They get some damage, as spores have been delayed. And they will scout the Hydras. Now from here, Solar, he's droning. He's actually droning up his third and his fourth. So he's getting up to proper 4-base saturation, droning up to 80, getting further ahead, macroing up, building up, and getting to mass Ling Hydra. And there's no rush, right? Like Solar, he already has a lead, and I believe he did scout the first Colossus. If that's the case, honestly, Solar can just chill, get an Infestation Mitt, get a Hive, and take up into Vipers. We'll see what he goes for. We'll see if he just maxes out on Lair Tech or if he does get into Hive. Again, I wouldn't be opposed to just getting Vipers, but Solar, he's done droning. Yeah, he's going to cut workers here at 80. That is 4-base saturation. He's got a solid economy. He is choosing not to take up into Hive and not to take up into Lurkers. It's purely Ling Bane Hydra. It's pure Ling Bane Hydra. There is a chance that Hero can make a stand here. With Colossus and Force Fields, it's possible, but he only has 1 sentry. Yeah, only 1 sentry. Force Fields are limited. If he had more sentries, then he could defend. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough hold. I mean, he still has 3 Colossus, true. Yeah, the Colossi, they rain down on Ling Bane. Bane's trying to work their way in. And they break into, they do bust into the Zealots. They bust into the mineral line. 15 probes going down. Once again, gets the mineral line, and he pulls away. Yeah, Soleil pulls away. Doesn't kill, but he does maim Hero. Picks off all the Zealots, and behind this, finally, we have the pit. Infestation Mitt gets thrown down and getting ready for Hive Tech. As we mentioned before, dealing with these Colossus is not going to be easy, not without Vipers. So this Hive should be for Viper production. And Hero, he will hold, he will defend, but he still lost the mineral line. Thankfully, Soul, he preserved his Hydras. Hydra's were preserved. Lurker tech is on the way. Building up into lurkers. From here, he is building up. And we're just going to wait until he maxes, essentially. We're just going to wait until Solo can max out. Lings, they attempt to trade. And we just have to wait for Hive Tech to kick in. Lurker upgrades. There we go. 11 Lurkers are morphing in. The Hive is done. There's Lurker range. Lack of Vipers is a little bit concerning, but you could argue that that Soul could just brute force it. He can just brute force it. Going to mass Lurker. Meanwhile, here he has a lot of storms. He has 5 High Templar. At least 5 storms. As Lurkers, they get in position. Colossus are looking for another way in. Lurkers are holding their own. And the center base is denied. Going for another Ling run by, another Ling counterattack. Colossus does take down the expansion. Does get the 5th. But here it still can't get a 4th base. Oh, Jesus. What's happening? That's happened a couple of times so far. That's I don't know if you noticed, but I think that's like the 3rd time that's happened this cast, maybe the 4th time. Like the camera just like spazzes out and just heads to the corner of the map. It's like, what? Aye. But here we go. So he's maxed. He's maxed out, catching an Immortal. Hero's out of position. So ideally he wants Hero to push into him. As the Colossus, they're pushing forward. They're at least trying to. Once again, the base is under fire. And we're collapsing it. Yeah, we're trying to collapse it. Lings, they attempt to come in from behind. A little bit too late. Again, it's so difficult to engage this kind of Colossus-based army. Especially with our Vipers. The Lurkers are welding in. They borrow. Gets 1. Gets 1.5. Almost 2. Almost 2 Colossus. Oh, a massive clump of Lurkers go down. Solus is sending his own losses. He has to be careful. Again, this army is still terrifying. We're moving in, getting another expansion. Again, 2 bases going down. Not bad. Sierra keeps rotating. At the same time, Soul just going for the counterattack. Okay, he just commits. He just sends it across the map. Soul, he leaves the bare minimum to defend, which means here he can break through. Yeah, pushes up the ramp, but Lurkers are going down. Temple, they're so low. One more volley will bring them down. But here he breaks through the main army. At the same time, Lurkers, they race back home to defend. And they will. Yeah, they will defend. 1 Colossus left. So 1 Colossus, 0 High Templar, 0 Storms. And Solo, he should barely have this. He should barely have this. Oh no, miss rally into the army. Into the lurkers. Solo, he's done it, man. It got very messy towards the end, for sure. Very messy. Oof. So that's a kill, not a cancel. Solo still bleeding out, lurkers still standing in the storms. Uh-oh. If Solo's not too careful, how many lurkers does he have left? 5. Only 5 lurkers remaining. At the same time, herO doesn't really have much of an army either. We're getting messy, Packer. We're getting messy. herO getting up to 5 Templar and 2 Colossus. I mean, the army here is actually still quite sturdy. Still quite capable, I should say. But he needs more time for storms. Okay, he's got 3. Lurkers A-zone away. Snipes the High Templar. And Sully's slowly getting up the ramp. Yeah, Lurker shots into the mineral line. High Templar going down. Picking up 2 more Templar. And herO still just cannot expand. He's running out of money, running out of steam. Solo, he's re-expanding himself. Pulling back to the lurkers. Another Colossus goes down to 1. 1 Colossus left. GG gets called, and Solar takes game number 1. Whew, GG. Solar does take lead in the series. Again, a very quirky game 1. Winding it back. Remember, how did this game begin? It began with herO opening up Triple Phoenix. It was crazy. He went for a Triple Phoenix opener, and because of the Triple Phoenix, Solo, he went for a massive Ling Flood. He was able to kill 15 probes with the Ling Flood, crippled the economy early on, and Solo was able to take a very comfortable lead from there. I will say that herO did a great job at recovering. He was able to get into Colossus, High Templar, Storm to build up this death ball of an army. For the most part, Solo was in control, but towards the end, we saw that herO, he was able to take his own fights, able to build up a death ball of his own, and actually trade well, if not out-trade Solar at times, making things much closer towards the end. Despite the awful start of herO, did recover, but he was on a timer, as he never got a 4th. He never got a 4th base, could never maintain his economy. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting to game 2. Going to be loading into Tourmaline. Oh boy, another one of these more maps that does favor aggression. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing T1. Oh. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is a herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Red Zerg player, the Red Zerg player himself, representing Team Falcons. It is a Solar. Go. Here we go. Here we go. From here, Solo going hatch into his standard opener. Likewise, so is herO. Setting up, we're settling in. Hello. Wait, what? My apologies. As herO, he's setting up on the high ground. Huh. Okay. You have my attention. herO being a little bit quirky here. Because of the high ground setup, it does mean that his natural is going to be more exposed. He's going for the gate, cyber, expand, with a very exposed natural. I'm curious if he's going to try to force an overreaction. Now, because of this opener, when the Overlord arrives, the Overlord is going to check the ramp, is going to check this area, and we'll see the lack of any buildings, and that may kind of flare up some alarms. And Solo might believe that there's a proxy. So we'll see how Solo reacts. For now, hatch gas pool, standard opener. Solo pokes in. But again, the low ground is going to be so much more open and vulnerable and just weaker. And this is crazy. It's insane. Is he just going to have the tech here at the natural? Solar checks, yeah, he goes in. I mean, he won't see whether or not Warp Gate is being researched, I suppose. But yeah, he gets eyes on the natural. Not true. I mean, the Overlord is going to be lured out. Take some extra hits. Sentry's on the way for the hallucination. But yeah, this is crazy. So once again, winding back, because the initial production buildings are in the main base, like there's no SimCity here. There's just no SimCity. Twilight Council's in the main as well, going for a crazy Twilight Council opener. I feel like he's just asking Sol to all in him, right? Sol, does he pull out? He does. Okay, he pulls out of gas, getting his third. So Solo's not going for early roaches. Now we get 2 extra gateways here. A Link Scout will confirm this. And even though Solo won't see the Twilight Council because the Overlord just got killed, he will see the gateway, so he knows that it's ground-based, right? He knows that there's a Twilight Council. Like this is a tell. This many gateways this early on, because he knows there's one in the main. And it's going to be a 2-base charge all in. Yep, Solo pokes in, he sees the gateways, it's a full, almost a full wall. But again, that is a tell. Going charge into DTs? Okay. I don't know what's going on anymore, Pappy. What's happening? Este herO. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. I mean, this means that we have Archon support as well after the Dark Templars, after they do their thing. We just had a hallucination, no force field. Yeah, Sentry's exposed, and the Sentry will go down. Oh, barely saved. Clutch save there by herO. Clutch save. Station goes in. There's the early Roach Warren. Yep, very early here. This was at 3:30, like 3:30ish Roach Warren timing. Lings are flooding across the map. Solar, he's not droning. He's going for a 2-base all in himself. So 2-base all in out of Solar. Who hits first? Now herO, he got what he wanted, right? Like I feel like this is what you expect. If you're herO, you're expecting this kind of reaction. And because of this reaction, there is no lair. True, but so there won't be detection with the main army. DT's warping in. Touchdown moves out, so it gets surrounded. Takes down the Stalker. Dark Templar, they're getting there. Back at home, lair has begun. Solar, he's re-droning. I mean, he sees the third base, so he's like, okay, so you're droning up, you're getting a third. Something is wrong, but now I have to drone myself. So Solar, he does not tunnel vision. Dark Templar get deflected, and I mean that's the end of the Dark Templar. That's they don't get much damage done. Now, if Solar had skipped his spores, then sure, but he didn't. Spores are up and running. Solar's fine. And we do see herO going into Colossus. It feels like hero's freestyling. I'll be honest. Like this is crazy. Going charge. Like what did early charge achieve? He didn't even warp in any zealots. There's no zealots. What was the point of I mean, obviously the point of charge is in the mid game. We're gonna get into charge lots, but like, why did we have to get it so quickly? So we have charge just cause. Okay. Bay is on the way. Getting into Colossus, building of the Immortals, Immortal Archon, charge, Colossus +1, let's go. And he's building up into a robust mid game eventually. He's getting there. Ay ay ay. Uh-oh, here comes Overlord speed. Solar, he's running up to 3 bases, cutting workers at 66, getting a 4th base just for Larva. We spoke about this at the start of the game, but Tourmaline is known for all-ins, is known for hyper-aggressive Zerg builds, and Solar's going for the German Taxi. So German Taxi out of Solar. Is herO just going to topple over and die? Like, This is very similar to last game. What did we say about last game? Last game, herO was so tech heavy. Like he had invested so much money into tech. Same here. Bay, Dark Shrine, Twilight Council, Charge, Forge, Blink, Immortal Production, Colossus Production, Thermal Lance. Now you have the Gateway Explosion, and here comes the all-in, and herO barely has an army because he's just invested so much into his tech, and because of the late third, of course. But okay, let's go. We'll see if herO can make a stand. We have a Banelings here on the left-hand side. Baneling speed is not going to be done in time for this, unless Solo waits. And here we go. Solo, he's collapsing in from behind, rushing forward. Bailey's, they will crash into the Colossus. He wants it. Oh my god, massive connections. Colossus is very low. And one more volley goes down. Yeah, Colossus goes down. Immortal as well. The boys are being pulled. Oh. And with that final Colossus, can herO barely hold on? Nah, not even. Yeah, reinforcements, they collapse on the army. And Solo, he breaks the third base. Again, this is a crazy build by herO. It was crazy, Pappy. Once again, it was just really tech heavy. Solo, he does kite back. 20 probe kills. Gets 20 workers. herO, technically he survives, but he lost his mineral line. He lost 20 probes. And Solo, he's backing off, and here comes wave 2. So round 2 is coming. Now what's herO gonna have to defend? He's gonna have a second Colossus. He's gonna have +2. He'll have a couple of force fields. I mean, that's what the Ravagers are for. It's gonna be 5 Ravagers with the main army. We're getting to Disruptor. Let's go. We got Disruptors on the way in PvZ. Bappy, he's lost his mind. Oh my god. Yeah, as we commit in, those are the final force fields. Banelings, they crash into the sentries, and herO should not be able to defend against this. Should not be able to hold on. Again, this build was crazy, Bappy. And there's contamination as well. We will not see the Disruptor. The contamination. Boys are being pulled, the final boys. Morling Bane rushing in, going for the final Colossus. The Disruptor may pop out once the contamination runs out. And GG gets called, and Solar, he will take a 2-0 lead. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very quirky build here out of herO. I'm curious as to what he wanted out of the response. Once again, when it came to his opener, part of me feels like maybe he was hoping that he would force an overreaction out of Solar, and he kind of did. If you remember, Solar, he went for a massive Link Flood early, an early Roach push. He went for a 330 Roach Horn timing, and Solar didn't really achieve much with it. But Solar, once he realized that herO was getting a third base, he was pretty quick to drone up. Like, I'm really happy to see that Solar, he was very fast to drone and react and not commit to too much of an early all-in. So he did invest quite heavily into Ling Roach, but then he realized, oh, you're getting up to 3 bases, let me just back off, drone up a little bit, get up to 3 base saturation, and then go for a 3 base all-in instead. So he went for the 3 base all-in, went for the Ling Bane Roach Ravager instead. Meanwhile, herO, he was maybe hoping for a bigger reaction. Obviously, he opened up DT and hoping for some damage there as well, but because the opener was quirky, there was already spores in position, so DTs didn't achieve anything. We had early charge, nothing was done with that. We actually, did we ever warp in any zealots? Now that I think about it, I don't think we ever did. So yeah, that was research for some reason. Again, herO was just really tech heavy on 3 bases. That's why his army was non-existent. GG, well played. That was crazy. Pappy, we're making Disruptors at the end. You almost never see Disruptors in PvZ nowadays, like in the current meta, in current StarCraft. It's crazy. Okay, let's go. We're loading into game 3. I appreciate that Solar, in his mind, he's like, mate, I don't know what the hell you're doing. I'ma just all in you. It's like, okay, it works. He's like, Pappy, you do you, okay? I'ma just kill you. I didn't want to try to understand what you're doing. And here we go, spawning in the bottom hand corner. Oh, hello. Spawning in the bottom hand corner of Celestial Enclave, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing T1, down heavily in the series. We'll see where he takes us. He's crazy, pappy. He is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Zerg player. The Red Zerg player himself representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. We go. As herO, using the worker path, he's able to get across the map, able to delay, able to block the natural, and with that we see Solar forsake the not even forsake the unnatural natural. Nice juke, nice jive. Solar, he was able to expand on location, and with that Solar is able to have a bit of a more comfortable start. Meanwhile, welcome to Celestial Enclave. Celestial Enclave, for the first time tonight, actually, for the first time this broadcast, we have a very secure natural, true, with the high ground. So very secure natural base. We have a third base as well as a pocket. Usually this is saved for a fourth or a fifth. So you want to save this for a bit of a later expansion later on in the mid game, in the mid to late game as well. But it's going to be a very safe expansion to eventually take into. And in general, you can turtle up quite nicely here in your corner of the map. Things will get more complicated once you want to get a fifth base. So you have your natural, your main base, your linear third expansion, and of course your pocket base. But outside of that, it can be quite difficult to actually expand and get a fifth, get a sixth base. That's when things get a little bit more difficult as the turtling player. Now, coming into this, I will say that these 3 base all-ins that Soul's been going for are weaker on Celestial Enclave, but something that is going to be accessible to him is Muta play, right? Spire into Mutas is definitely going to be a viable option here on Celestial Enclave, so that's going to be in the forefront of my mind. Meanwhile, the hell's herO going to do? Because he's been crazy this entire series. Like, I don't... It's been an animal battle. See, the herO plays to confuse the casters. That's all that matters to him. I would push back against that. Usually herO makes sense. Like, we cast a lot of herO. We cast herO almost on a daily basis here. Like, herO, his builds make sense. They're usually very aggressive. I will say, for the first time in a long time, game 2 and even game 1, herO did not make sense. Like, especially game 2. Like, what was the plan? I would want to ask him. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking like maybe. No, like it was just like if it goes unscouted. No, like even then, I don't know, Pappy. I feel like the only scenario where he's able to make game 2 work is if there are no spores. If there's no spores, if the DCs get damaged, then maybe he goes for the Zealot counterattack and the Zealot follow-up, and then he can end the game with Charge or Archon after dealing damage. But you are so heavily reliant on your DTs like popping off. And again, he's so heavily reliant on his opponent not having a lair. We spoke about it at the time, right? We spoke about how I'm still talking about game 2. We spoke about how in game 2, like the purpose is to force like a Ling Roach all in early, which will be lair based, sorry, which will be hatch tech based, and then you hit them with the DTs, right? And that's where you catch them off guard. Like, I think that was the point. I think that was the plan. Maybe. Anyway, Twilight Council, Glaive Adepts. We're just setting it. We didn't even care anymore. We don't even care. This looks like a 2-base, sorry, I was gonna say 2-base all in 4-gate. So 4-gate glaives out of herO, very committed. You can see he actually has pulled back in a gas or one of those gas geysers, which means he could even go glaives plus DTs or glaives and a 5th and 6th gateway as well. Remember, there's no robo, true. There's no robo with this, there's no warp prism. We're just warping in from home. Yep, he pulls back in. So I feel like this has to be either a Dark Shrine or extra gateways. Otherwise, why do we have so much gas? Is he expanding? Oh, no. Okay, he's expanding. Okay. Okay, herO. Let's go. Let's go. Solo, I believe, scouted everything, right? Yeah, he saw the Twilight Council, he saw the gateways. Solo is fully aware. Back at home, we have a Roach Horn on the way, we have Lings amassing, Queen's getting in position, Roach production has begun. Solo, he is ready for what's to come here, and herO does not even have glaives. He's vanilla adepts. He needs 10 more seconds. So we have, hold on, we have we have 4-gate glaives without a warp prism, which means we can't reinforce, which means we're not warping in extra adepts, and we're going into double Stargate. Like, this is another example of this. This is herO freestyling, 100%. Like, this is not a thing. Like, this, it was such a big investment. Like, why finish glaives? Like, what? like the glaives, they achieve nothing here. And now we're switching, and now we're hard switching, which means we're skipping warp ins. And so he's knocking down the front door. Oh no. Sola's knocking down the rocks. herO doesn't know. herO, he's getting into +1 air attack. He's getting into mass void ray, maybe. Mass phoenix. Mass oracle, sure. Okay. Adepts are achieving some damage, but Sola doesn't care. Sola doesn't care. He's defending with his reinforcements. No mining here at the third. Adepts, they cancel the shade, and Sola, he busts in. He busts down the front door. There's no shield batteries. No shield batteries to defend. Lings, they do pull away. They respect the Adepts. Nice movement here by Solar. He pulls away with Lings, going for the side defense. Oof. Lings going for the shield battery. Roaches for the Adepts. Oracles are going to be able to defend. True. Oracles, they focus on the rabbit. Oh no! Oh my god. Does the vials. But the mineral line is going down. Yeah, he takes out the mineral line. Lings, they can flood into the main. Boys are being pulled. Back at home, Adepts are being defended against. Yeah, we have reinforcements. The Adepts are shut down. Solar, he breaks into the main. And with that, I mean, there's nothing here. 25 dead workers. We can see the Solar is just a massive opening here into the bases. We just keep on rallying. The Oracles will eventually clean this up with the NG overcharge. But this is game-ending damage. This is game-ending 29 probe kills. Surrounds the Adept. Once again, it gets into the mineral line. Oh. Nice movement out of Solar. Rallying together his roaches. Going for the pylons. Yes, nice. The pylons. Depowers more gateways. Going for the cyber core to ensure that there are no more Adepts. And the Oracles are out of NG. They just can't do anything. There's the overcharge. And the Oracles, they just look down on the devastation. Look down on the Ling Roach. The Oracle looks at herO. It's like, Pappy, what were we doing? What was going on? It was like, man. Oh no. And with that, Solar's just chilling. Solar, he's droning, he's saturating his third base, going into Hydras, going to Roach Hydra. Solar can just calm down. Now, if Solar doesn't respect the amount of Oracles that there are, then he could lose quite a bit. So thankfully, he's getting his spores and getting a second spore in the main. So second spore, ooh, cancels, never mind. Cancels the spore, Hydras are amassing. And he should have anti-air. These Oracles shouldn't get much done. And we're going to mass Phoenix, by the way. herO wall. Well, this wasn't a herO wall because the rocks were knocked down. It's not a herO wall. But yeah, this is the most question mark herO series that I think I've ever seen. Like again, like usually when it comes to hero's builds, like even herO going mass oracle into +1 charge makes sense. Like that's a build. Like that's a build that we see. Even when herO freestyles a little bit when it comes to his like blink timings or when it comes to his charge timings, like there's still like rationale there. Like herO, he just lost his mind this series. Like, God, it's conch, papi. It's crazy. I think the nonsense peaked in game 2 though. Like this is crazy as well. Now maybe this one as well, true. Well, I think game 2 was peak nonsense. Only just more than this one. As the Hydras, they kill everything. They kill all the Oracles. The Phoenixes are falling as well. Almost nothing left in the air. And Solar, he can just rally. Just rally in. Takes down the Adepts. Takes down whatever is left. And with that, Solar looking to take a clean series here, 3-0, but the series itself was anything but clean. GG gets called, and Solar will take the series 3-0. He'll become this week's WardiTV Monday champion. GG. That's all I have to say about that series. That was crazy. Again, it feels like over time, like his builds are making less sense. Again, game 2 was the wildest one, going for the high ground setup with the high ground gate into Cybercore, into Twilight Council with low ground 2 gates. Like I'm still thinking about game 2, to be honest. Like game 2 is still, I'm losing my mind. But again, I appreciate that Solar, even if he didn't necessarily know what was going on or why anything was happening, I appreciate that Solar, he was still really quick to just like, you know, lock in and be like, you know what, I don't really know what you're doing. I would just like drone up to 2 bases and just make roaches and just be safe. And that's what happened. Like this. Of course, at times he would counterattack. Like for example, game number 2, we saw that he did try to all in herO early, and then when he was really quick to realize that herO was expanding, and it was like, oh, okay, you're expanding. I'm a drone up. I'm a back off, drone up, get a lair, get detection. DTs did no damage, and then Solar was able to turn that into a 3 base all in. Here in game 3, herO had a crazy build going into Glaive Adepts, but remember, it was Glaive Adepts without a robo. There was no robo. There was 4 gates Glaives without a robo, without a Warp Prism. So even though he warped in the first wave of Adepts, there was no second wave. Like, it was very committed, but also uncommitted at the same time. Like, there was a lot devoted into the Adepts, but he just didn't warp in because it was trying to switch into mass Oracle, trying to switch into double Stargate, which left him vulnerable to the all-in of Solar. And Solar didn't even know what was happening. He didn't even know what herO was doing in the aftermath. Didn't matter. He was it was just going for his own roach all-in counterattack to punish the Adepts, and it all worked out. GG well played. I'm sure as the series ended, Solar, he was like, the hell just happened? Like, I guarantee that he doesn't even know what was going on. But GG well played with that. Congratulations to Solar that has claimed the series, and again, shout out to herO, because this is the most chaotic that I've seen herO in a while. Like, as I mentioned before, and I stand by it, like herO, his builds usually make sense. Like, even if he's hyper aggressive, even if he's a little bit more experimental at times, like usually like there's a lot of rationale behind it, and you can see the reasoning behind it as well. But I can't with any confidence say that about this series. I can't do it. I can't do it. But GG well played. GG well played. Congratulations to Solar. Out of curiosity, what does the Glaives upgrade do? In the past, Glaives used to bounce. It used to like ricochet off units and do bonus damage as a result of that. That was removed, and now it does attack, or it does change attack speed. Attack rates is maybe a better way of putting it, to increase the amount of damage output of the Adepts so they can pop off, especially against other Lings, especially against Queens, against all units, is a very committed upgrade, especially because Glaive Adepts don't really scale too well into a longer game. But in the past, they were crazy. In the past, they used to bounce. Like, it was wild. seeing the Glaives bounce between units, it was insane. That was early Legacy. I think that was very quickly patched out, right? It's like maybe the first or second patch after Legacy was released. Was changed. But Adepts, they definitely had their time in the sun early on. Whew. But with that, GG. With that, GG well played. With that, we are going to be wrapping up. Here for the time being, as we are done for the evening, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Quickly heading on over here, exclamation mark. Oh, I was going to say be in the chat. We have our schedule. We have our weekly schedule here. We're just wrapped up with the Wednesday evening cast with the WardiTV Monday. And of course, we're going to be live tomorrow morning with the Turtle Tussle. That's going to be tomorrow morning. We have the Pondcast tomorrow as well. I still have to listen to the interview. There was a GGG interview that ZombieGub hosted recently. It was a long one as well. So I have to look into that. I have to get around to listening to. I think it's like 2 hours or something. It's a long one. So I have to get around to catching up with that interview. Of course, we'll be discussing that during the podcast. We have Kung Fu Cup as well on Friday, Saturday, and we have Tuna Cup on Sunday. I might slow things down a little bit here. I've been really struggling to get any sleep. Like, even now, like, I'm gonna go spend time with the bunnies. Gonna spend some time with them. But sleep has been a dire resource here on the CranKy Ducklings. So we'll see what we do with the Kung Fu Cup casts. We might try to get some extra sleep or something. We'll see how we feel. As Oh god, especially today, especially during the PvZ Cup. Sorry, PvZ Cup broadcasts are starting late because of daylight savings, and because they start late, I only had 4 hours in between PvZ Cup and this cast. Only 4 hours of like break in between. Whereas usually I try to sleep, I try to like nap in between, but I couldn't for this one. So yeah, we might change something about Wednesdays. Might change something, but otherwise, as you can see, we have our weekly schedule. We are usually live every single day, and as you can see, sometimes multiple times a day as well. We were live earlier this morning with PvZ Cup. That was another weekly open tournament. The Turtle Tussle is a bi-weekly, a fortnightly open cup. That's going to be in around 10 hours, no, 10ish hours time. Of course, we have the Pongcast, which is a weekly talk show where we talk all things StarCraft. That's why I did just mention that Zombie had an interview recently. We're probably going to be discussing that this week. Meanwhile, we have the Tuna Cup, which is another open cup. We have the OSC events. We have the Kung Fu Cup and many other broadcasts as well. So plenty of content. We cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there. More StarCraft than Steadfast, more StarCraft than Wardi. We pride ourselves in the amount that we cast. But I will say that in recent months, specifically over the past like 2 months, we've been slowing things down a little bit and getting some more rest and easing up a little bit in casting. It was very common, very often, that we would do like 2 casts a day every single day, sometimes even 3 casts a day, sometimes even 4 casts a day. But now like we're having like a couple of days here and there where we only cast once, like once a day sort of thing, where we're easing up. I appreciate it. It's been 5 years of non-stop casting, so it's nice to have a little bit of like a leaner day here or there. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Stick around. We're gonna be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll find someone to send everyone over to. Let's go. Let us go. Who can we raid? Trigger is live. Oh, that's the Trigger. I see Trigger live. Snake Style is live. Lambo just went live. That's the Lambo. I might give some love to Trigger. Lambo, he usually gets a lot of he's very popular, he gets a lot of viewership. Trigger less so we'll give him some love. Oh, he's off racing, that's what. God damn it, Trigger, he's off racing as Terran. SMH my hedge. I will give him some love. Otherwise, with that, thanks for watching. I'm gonna be heading off, gonna get some rest. I'm gonna take the bunnies out and maybe post on Discord about them. But we'll see you next time. Until then, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. If you want to follow us, you can do so on the socials, !socials in the chat. We can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. !socials. And we also have Patreon as well. Our Patreon, our Patreon does fund our tournaments. It funds our weekly tournaments and our monthly tournaments as well. It's all funded via Patreon. You can help us grow those tournaments and help boost the prize pool and help support the players if you wish via Patreon. So thank you so much to all of our current patrons. We currently have almost reached our next goal of 670 USD a month. That is our monthly goal. Just under the schedule, you can see the bar. So you can help support us there. Otherwise, thank you so much. Shout out to sordo for the raid, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. See you then. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.